I can get lost in here, right?
You want to get in the way?
No, we're good. Good. Go ahead.
And here's the girls. Hi, how are you? Good. Nice to see you.
So,
It won't get long tonight. Yeah, it'll be very unattractive.
so I just want to say thanks for all being here, and I'm going to turn it over to Tom Waller, our board member, and he's going to help you understand the connection that we have here with our esteemed guest, the Lieutenant Governor.
Well, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest today. I've known Lieutenant Governor for, let's say, more than 10 years. I met her as a first-year law student at John Marshall. She was dating my best friend from high school, and then I think about a few years later, I was in Miami for your wedding in August. It's pretty warm that day. Some things you might not know about our Lieutenant Governor: she is born and raised in Miami. She grew up speaking Spanish as a first language. She is a classically trained pianist, and she also is the first in her family to graduate college. So everyone who's known Evelyn over the years, she's always tried to make things better for those around her. And that started, she's an assistant attorney general under Jim Ryan. And then she worked as a city councilman in Wheaton. And now is our Illinois' first Latino lieutenant governor in Springfield. And those of you who might follow her on social media, and I recommend all of you do, she's out every day meeting all these hardworking people in Illinois trying to make things better. And that's why she's here today. She heard about our mission of serving at-risk youth and how important it is. And she's a mother of 3 herself. So she's here today because she wants to meet you in person and hear your stories firsthand. So please help me welcome our Illinois Lieutenant General.
I really wish I would have had a moment to talk to you for a long time. We haven't connected in years. We haven't gossiped in years. And I know you were trying to get us together. So this is just amazing. But I'm looking at him and just thinking, he's all grown up. He's all grown up. I even see gray hair and everything. Yeah, we do go way back. And as we were walking in, I did tell him, remember that when we knew each other as youngsters, it was before the cyber age. So anything that happened back then stays there. It's amazing, right? It's such a pleasure to be here today. I took a small tour, and wow, what you folks do here is God's work. And my last question to one of the volunteers is, do you guys get therapy for everything you got to take in? Because it's a big deal, and it's something really big to carry. I just feel like you guys are incredible receptacles, really, of all the information you got to take in, and I commend you all. You know, I'm so thankful that I'm at a place like this. As Lieutenant Governor, have you guys ever even met a Lieutenant Governor? Yeah, they say that my job is like the Seinfeld show. It's about nothing. Yeah, but pretty much it's what you make of it. And so I've had a wonderful time. Bruce and I, our Governor, Bruce Rauner, we connected because I firmly believe in education reform. My mom had me when she was 15. This is why I learned Spanish as my first language. I had no other choice. My mother was a refugee from Cuba, and my dad an immigrant from Ecuador. And Mom had me when she was 15, and so education-wise, I failed the first grade. And it wasn't until I had an excellent musical opportunity that I got into a school of the arts, and all the lights in my life turned on. Otherwise, I would have probably been a statistic based upon my backdrop. So you folks are saving what otherwise becomes a statistic as far as children and youth, at-risk children, and really I commend you all for it. But really now my piece as Lieutenant Governor, hey, you didn't know, I'm the first Latina in the country. First Latina in the state, but also in the country. And based upon my backdrop, my mission is always education reform, making sure that every child has access to a world-class education. And that's been wonderful. I handle the Governor's Rural Affairs Council. There's a lot of need in rural Illinois. As a matter of fact, with your volunteers, that was one of my questions. Like, what happens when you folks do intake for these rural kids? And there's a lot of crisis there, a lot of need. But I'm in charge of the Governor's Rural Affairs Council, in charge of water, military, making sure our installations don't close down. But then I get to have really cool pieces that I make my own. So for instance, I have multiple sclerosis. I work with the MS Society. Did you know that? We haven't talked in ages. Okay, so I work with the MS Society to bring awareness to that. Mostly women are afflicted with the disease, and I've loved being able to get these pieces to make my own. Women's health is a big one, and of course outreach to our Hispanic communities. Now that we made history, I want to see more Latina women getting out there and running for governor, for instance, and so on. So that's just me in a nutshell. I want to find out more about you. My project is always to protect the underserved. Right now, our staff, by the way, is 70% woman. He's so outnumbered. And now like 37% Latino, if not 40. So we walk the walk and talk the talk. But I'd like to find out more about you because I always champion efforts for the underserved, and certainly that's what you folks are doing here.